This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A record filibuster in the Missouri Senate came to an abrupt close moments ago. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Senate Democrats were holding the floor to block deceptive language, what they call deceptive language, from a ballot question that would make it harder to change the Constitution. This is all happening within the past hour. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live in Jefferson City. Mark.
The stalemate went stale. The Senate frustrated, tired after a record 50-hour stalemate. They basically, instead of shutting down debate, they just pressed pause. It was a two-day fight, really boiling for 2 years. Ever since the fall of Roe versus Wade, tensions have been building in this building. Missouri enacted its strict abortion ban those 2 years ago, and voters are now on the verge of deciding whether or not to overturn it. That set up this massive fight in the Senate as Republicans tried to change those rules and make it harder to do. Then they added in this additional unrelated language to ban things that are already outlawed, like non-citizens voting or foreign nationals influencing American elections. Senate Democrats called that trickery, deceit, and manipulations and shut the chamber down with a 50-hour marathon filibuster lasting through the night for 2 nights in a row. Hardliner Republicans were poised to try and force that filibuster to a close.
That would be I think that would be the final nail in the Senate's coffin.
Because it does shut off debate. However, that being said, the item under question has been the #1 priority of the Republican Party for years.
What they're doing is trying to confuse and trick voters with deceptive language because they know that if they're able to see what this is on the face of it, it'll fail at the ballot.
It absolutely is clear and concise exactly what the people will be voting on, and they can make up their own minds.
For now, the question lives on to fight another day. For example, this carries costly consequences. A childhood education proposal that would have boosted funding in St. Louis now appears to be on the chopping block, or at least caught up in this bottleneck. Very little time left remaining in this session until Friday to pass that to Governor Parson's desk. We'll have a lot more tonight at 10. For now, live in Jefferson City, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Tonight, a middle school teacher in the Metro East has been charged with a felony after police say he threatened to shoot students. 5 on your side's Megan Kernan has been going through court documents all day and joins us live outside of the school with the very latest. Megan.
And Terry Moran was arrested here last week at Mason Clark Middle School. I've been talking to parents and students all afternoon as I work to learn more about what exactly happened. It was during a break in between classes last Thursday when police say Terry Moran made a threat. According to court documents, Moran said, quote, "I ought to bring a gun to school and shoot them all in the name of God." A witness says Moran, a science teacher, was referring to his students and was visibly angry. Police were called to Mason Clark Middle School. Moran told them he did not own a gun, and police later confirmed he did not have any with him or at his house. Prosecutors have now charged Moran with threatening a school building or person. That's a Class 4 felony. The East St. Louis School District released a statement saying, quote, "We take any threat seriously, and in this situation, we responded promptly and comprehensively, working closely with law enforcement. Our commitment remains unwavering in ensuring a secure and supportive environment for all members of our school community." We spoke to multiple parents, students, and even a crossing guard Wednesday afternoon who were not aware of Moran's arrest. However, they did say there was an increased police presence at the school last Thursday and Friday. And while they can't say for sure it was tied to this incident, they believe it was. In a letter to parents, the district confirmed the potential threat and said they were taking it seriously. The district said it could not comment on whether Terry Moran had been fired. They did tell me that they followed their standard policies and procedures. Moran's preliminary hearing is set for May 31st at 10 a.m. Live in East St. Louis, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
A man accused of shooting another driver during a road rage incident in University City is in police custody. Police arrested Octavian Carr at a St. Louis gas station this afternoon. He's being held on assault and weapons charges. Police say Carr got angry when he thought a driver tried to cut him off on southbound I-170 near Delmar around 8:30 this morning. Investigators say Carr fired as many as 6 shots at the driver when she pulled onto the Delmar exit ramp. One of the bullets hit her in the shoulder and she ended up needing surgery. No one else was hurt.
Let's take a live look outside at City Park in downtown St. Louis. Looks like the sun is peeking through. City SC's facing LA in less than 90 minutes. And we just need the weather to cooperate. Jim Castillo, who used to live in LA, but is a St. Louis boy, right?
Yes, St. Louis, born and raised, but did live out there for a bit. And guess what? We have LA weather for you tonight. So they really lucked out because last evening it was that soaking rain, thunder, lightning, downpours. And now for the game, beautiful. We're in the 70s right now and staying in the 70s most of the game, and also a very light wind at about 5 miles an hour. So we do have some clouds moving in tonight and maybe a spotty rain chance, a little bit better chance of rain tomorrow, maybe some isolated stronger storms. That chance of any severe weather is really low. In fact, even that weak spin up tornado chance is almost zero, but not quite zero. We'll talk about this, time it out, coming up in Maine Weather in just a few minutes.
You can get the Weather First forecast sent to your phone at any time. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link.
More rain is not what people need in East St. Louis. They need a stretch of dry days, which unfortunately is not in the forecast. Meteorologist Tracy Hinson is live on one East St. Louis street where water flooded basements, yards, and part of the road. Tracy.
So this is between 63rd and 65th here, and the water is it's everywhere, and it is very slowly receding. Been out here off and on throughout the entire day today. Where I was standing earlier was just about covered in water. Now it is dry. Since we've been here for about an hour, slowly receding, but there's so much water that it would take days of dry weather, which we just don't have in our forecast, for this to completely dry out. Now earlier today, I walked around the neighborhood with a resident who's been here for 30 years and the city administrator about what comes next for this street.
Water has not receded very much since yesterday evening. And that's concerning because that tells me that something is clogged or the lines are just full.
Which is why East St. Louis City Manager Robert Betts is out to see what the city needs to do next.
I've had an opportunity to speak with this homeowner here and business owner as well. And she's just getting tired, and I can see why.
We're just frustrated. It's time for East St. Louis to step up and do something. I know they have the money, but they need to use it where it needs to be done. And as you can see, it needs to be done in this area right here. We always get hit the hardest. If you go around the city, all the water probably ceased away except for right here, up in this area right here.
East St. Louis sits in a low area close to the Mississippi River. Storm runoff has to be carried to the river by pumps and pipes or absorbed into the ground. But with several inches of rain recently, the pipes are overwhelmed. There is no quick fix that will dry out yards and basements before the next round of rain hits.
Well, the first thing would be to get a sewer televising company on board to get the lines cleaned out, get a camera down in the lines, find out what's going on, see if there's a blockage or something going on, and make sure the lines are jetted and clean, and go from there, and that'll tell us what we need to do.
Then it's a matter of if-then scenarios. If it's a blockage, then a cleanout should help. If not,
it could just be that this is just a flood-prone area that's just going to hold water,
which would make for some difficult decisions.
Do we maybe put this area in a potential buyout area with the Department of Natural Resources, or do we look for other ways to fix this problem? The other thing we could look at and investigate is maybe doing a water retention system, maybe a water storage area, if you will.
Unfortunately, no easy solutions or quick ones, and more rain is in the forecast. In East St. Louis, Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
Coming up, we are learning more about two men shot to death downtown during the morning rush.
Plus, a father and son heading to prison on drug charges, the evidence that led to a conviction.